Hi everyone, welcome to my next educational video. YouTube, please take note. Before things get started, can I just tell you this is Tuesday 28th of March and the tickets for the 2024 British Shooting Show go on sale this Saturday, 1st of April. Next year's show is Friday, Saturday, Sunday again, the 16th, 17th and 18th of February. I'm hoping to be there all 3 days, and I look forward to seeing lots of you again next year, as I did back in February. It was awesome fun. Really looking forward to next year's. I'll put a link down below. Tickets go on sale on Saturday. Get your tickets soon. See you all there. Thanks for watching. Hi there everyone, back in the man cave with Bruce here, Phoenix from the UK Night Vision Forum and Mealy Jimmy from the Airgun Forum. This is our first man cave look at the new HIKMICRO Cheetah. It's the C32F RL, so it's got onboard IR and onboard laser rangefinder. We've just been getting some basic facts and figures, having a look at it in some bright daylight and testing things like minimum focus, minimum LRF ranging. Just before we get right into the man cave footage, I just thought I'd better show you some scope footage from just before we recorded our man cave bit. So this is initially just comparing straightforward both scopes on base mag and comparing the Cheetah on the left to Pard DS3550 on the right, and you can see the massive difference in the field of view. Literally, the Cheetah's got double the field of view than the DS3550. The two scope feeds are not quite synced, and the DS3550 on the right was recorded a little bit later in slightly darker conditions. But this gives you a reasonable first comparison zoomed in, although the footage I recorded yesterday on my usual farm permission is far clearer. That's coming very soon in a follow-up video, together with some night vision footage I'll record on both scopes side by side in a day or two. Again, that'll be using different IR sources, different wavelengths, as well as the onboard IR. Let's get on to Bruce. How you doing?
Morning, Russ. How everybody? Back in the man cave again.
With some new toys.
With some new toys.
Excellent. So we've got from HIKMICRO here, we've got on loan the Cheetah, and although we've got it configured as a day scope here, so it's got the rear eyepiece and it's got the Picatinny rail, and we've got the box there with the eyepiece and the box with the day scope add-on adapter. We've basically got everything to set it up for all three modes. But for this morning, we've just been looking at it as a scope, or if you like, as a spotter, but we have crosshairs visible. What do you think, Bruce?
It's nice. It's the same body as the Panther thermal scope we reviewed a while back, but obviously they've put a visible sensor with a somewhat smaller lens in it, and they've added an IR to the top. The controls are the same as the Panther. It's nice and light. We should have weighed it.
I'll pop weights on the screen up here with it in spotter mode with the eyepiece, front add-on mode with the eyepiece removed and the adapter on, and with it in scope mode with the eyepiece and the Picatinny rail.
So this is a night vision scope as opposed to a thermal scope, and of course HIK already have the Alpex night vision scope, which has been really successful, and I believe it was product of the year at the British Shooting Show.
Yes.
One of the products of the year. So you people will be saying, well we've got the Alpex, why do we have a Cheetah? Well, basically this is a lower magnification, wider field of view scope that, as far as I think, is more in towards the air rifle shooter end of the market. Yeah. Shorter range than the Alpex, 2.7 magnification against 3.5. Smaller lens, wider field of view, so better for short range work than the Alpex, which might be a little bit difficult for short range work. So that's where it comes in. The display on the Cheetah is better than in the Alpex. It's a 1/2-inch OLED with 1920 by 1080 pixels. That's going to really give you a benefit when you try to use it in front add-on mode. It'll give you a better screen to look at through the scope when it's set up in add-on mode. The image is nice. We've looked at it on our 100-yard range. Obviously, it's not going to give you the level of detail at 100 yards that the Alpex does because it's lower magnification. But the picture is nice. The field of view is nice and wide. We've done some measurements. The field of view is 740 millimeters wide at a distance of 5 meters. which is considerably more than either the PAR DS3550 or the DS3570. The Cheetah will focus down to 1 meter, which is really, really good.
Yeah.
You can get as close as 1 meter to a target and still get it to focus. The downside of that is that the laser rangefinder won't range anything below 10 meters.
Just like the Griffin spotter.
Yeah, the Griffin's the same thing. We did a wee comparison with the DS3550, which we have here. It has a minimum focus distance of 3.4 meters, and the rangefinder works down to 3 meters. But the problem with the DS35 is it's got a very narrow field of view, roughly half the field of view of the Cheetah.
Yeah.
So for the guys who are shooting rats and doing short range work on air rifles, this has got plenty magnification because you've got up to 8 times digital zoom, and you've got a nice wide field of view. Yeah. So I really think that's the area where it's going to do its best work.
Yeah, shorter range air rifle scope.
Yeah.
Certainly sub 12 and closer.
Yeah. Obviously, we haven't had a chance to try the IR yet. We've had it on briefly, but it's too bright in here today to see anything. I think the IR again is definitely more towards the short range end of the market. It's not a big lens in the front of the IR. It's an LED based IR rather than the VCSEL.
Yeah.
So I don't think the IR is going to give a particularly bright image at extended ranges. I think it'll be perfectly adequate at fairly short ranges. Yeah. I have seen a video from Optics Warehouse where they showed the Cheetah looking at a target at about 100 yards away with the onboard IR. It was okay, and then they tried it again using an external VCSEL based IR, and the image was vastly improved. However, there's nowhere on the Cheetah to attach an external IR.
No, there's no Picatinny rail on it anywhere.
No. So unless you're a rifle with Picatinny rails like many air rifles have nowadays, like your FX or something like that,
Air Max,
where you could actually clamp an external IR to one of the rails, it's not going to be easy to do that.
So as it's supplied, it's a short range for night vision because of the LED IR.
Yeah, I would say so.
Short range use.
Yeah, short range. No, you're not going to be shooting foxes at 300 yards with this scope.
No.
That's for sure. Same as the Panther, single 18650 battery in the top, which is always a plus in our book.
Which is brilliant, yeah.
We always like that. The same setup at the side, USB port for...
I think it's got 64 gig, I think, of onboard memory.
Pretty big memory. You can get your videos off of that. Obviously, it's got Wi-Fi where you can stream direct to a device or download the videos through the Wi-Fi. We're looking at the menu. It's got PIP. So it does go up to ×8 digital zoom, and you can zoom at any time just by turning the wheel. Yeah,
it's quite a sensitive zoom, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we found out with the Panther as well. We were slightly concerned about the longevity of this.
Yeah.
We thought it was maybe a bit lightweight. Yeah. Certainly compared to the Alpex, which is a big chunky steel knob. This is a much lighter plastic one.
Yeah. So if you just could talk us through those 3 controls.
Okay, so the front button is a power button.
Yeah.
Long press on, long press off. Short press puts it into standby, short press takes it out of standby. Middle button, short press is laser that ranges, and you can set it for single ping or continuous ranging for various time periods you can set in the menu.
Yeah.
Long press puts it into night mode. It changes mode.
Yeah.
Now, it turns out there are day mode, there's night mode, there's an automatic mode which will automatically switch from day to night, and there's a defog mode. Now, this is the same modes as you'll find in some of the thermals, so I don't think defog modes are going to do an awful lot with a night vision device.
No,
but I might be wrong.
Right.
So those are the modes.
Okay.
At the moment, when you go into the menu, there's an option called Smart IR.
Okay.
When we put the Smart IR on, when you go into night mode, it switches the IR on automatically.
Right.
When you switch Smart IR off and you go into night mode, the IR is not on.
Right.
And we haven't figured out how to get the IR on yet. So I think at the moment you pretty much have to leave it in Smart IR mode so that as soon as you go into night mode, the IR is going to be on.
Yeah.
Low light capability, we haven't had a chance to test that yet. But again, looking at a video I saw in Optics Warehouse, they said it's maybe not quite as good as the Alpex, and the Alpex is really, really good in dawn and dusk.
Yeah.
It's not quite as good, but it did show some video of pretty dark, and it was still working well enough in colour. Right. So I think that's something we'll test as well to see how it performs at dawn and dusk.
Yep.
But the sensor in here, there are more pixels in the sensor in this than there are in the Alpex. The Alpex is 1920 by 1080. This is 2560 by 1440, which is the same as the PAR DS35, same number of pixels.
Yeah.
So that's what they call a 2K sensor. I think it's a more modern sensor.
Yeah.
I think the Alpex gets its better done in dust performance simply because it's got a larger lens.
Yes, we do have a much smaller objective lens here.
Yeah, they're claiming 32mm f1.2. Let's see if I can measure it. And I'm not scratching the lens, it's okay. I get excited. About 26.4 I'm measuring it at.
Right, about the same as the DS3550.
The DS35 is a 50mm focal length. This is only a 32mm focal length.
Right, okay.
That shorter focal length is what gets you the wider field of view.
Yeah.
Compared to the DS35.
Okay, so we've mentioned the minimum ranging 10 meters, but the minimum focus is down to a meter. And we definitely think this is going to be good for short range air rifle use.
I think so. I think this is definitely a short range scope.
Yeah. Okay.
Some people like tube style scopes.
Yeah.
They don't like this what I call hanging off the back of the rifle style. I personally have no problem with it. I think it works perfectly well.
Yeah. And the scope is significantly lighter than the 1.2 kilo Alpex.
The Alpex is the heavy lump.
The Alpex is 1.2 kilos without the LED IR clamped on.
And I know you've measured it, Russ, but we'll do it just for the sake of the video.
Okay.
So this is with battery, with IR, as you would mount it on a rifle ready to shoot.
Yeah, with Picatinny rail.
Less than 800 grams.
Less than 800, brilliant. Okay, so it's very compact. It's quite light.
Given that so many modern PCP air rifles are rather heavy, you don't want to be adding any more weight on top of them than you have to.
No, and definitely not for disabled shooters like myself.
No, that's true.
No. And of course, that weight, that of 800 grams, is including the Picatinny rail and including the IR illuminator and including the laser rangefinder.
Everything there, complete.
Everything all in, but there's not currently a ballistic calculator, but who knows if they'll add that at some point through the app.
Well, the thing is, it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
Because you've got an integrated laser rangefinder, it's the electronics and everything already there. So if you can then come up with a different version of the firmware and probably an app, then I could see it being quite possible that you could get there could well be some update in the future that will give a ballistic calculator. I know that the Alpex, they're coming out with a version with a laser rangefinder strapped to the side of it.
Right.
And unfortunately the existing Alpexes will not be upgradable because it communicates by Bluetooth. This is already all in there, so to me this is the one that they would be the one that would have a ballistic calculator should HIK come up with that.
Yeah.
With that capability.
Yeah, although it is definitely a shorter range scope.
Yeah.
From our findings.
Yeah, that's right. But in whether or not they can do something about this 10 meter minimum ranging through firmware, I don't know. On a side note, the IR illuminator is focusable.
Right.
It goes from flood when it's screwed right in to spot, although there's not a huge amount of adjustment there, but there is some control of that.
And the objective lens is definitely a bit stiff on this, isn't it?
It's not as stiff as the Alpex, but you tend to have to put your hand in front of the rangefinder and the IR to make an adjustment on it.
Yeah.
And there's not, because of the position of the IR and the LRF, getting a coaster on there is not going to be.
There's not a lot of room, but I will try it with a coaster today.
Again, because this is shorter and it's going to be further back on the gun than it would be with the Alpex, I think actually reaching forward and getting at the ring will be easier.
Yeah.
It's not as stiff as the Alpex.
No.
I think some people might have a bit of an issue, but I'm feeling that is a lot easier to do than I did with the Alpex. I mean, the Alpex is awful stiff.
Yeah.
And they've put a rubber ring on here with some bumps on it that allows you to get a hold of it better.
Yes.
Whereas the Alpex plastic, and your hand tends to not grip it as well.
Yeah, it's ridged, but it's sort of grooved, but it's not that grippy.
No.
Okay. Attachment wise, it comes with a couple of little washers to act as mini screwdrivers, or for the Picatinny rail.
Yeah.
And we know from experience from reviewing the Panther that you've got to really tighten up those.
The Panther and the Thunder use the same thing here. And what was 7 Newton meters or something?
Yeah, 7 Newton meters.
It's tighter than you think. Tighter than most people are comfortable tightening up.
Yes.
Because when you tighten them to the point where you think you've got them right, it's still loose.
Yeah, but that's fairly tight right now, isn't it?
That's not moving now. No. The thing is, they put that thread locking compound on the threads, and you have to overcome that to get the thing to sit properly.
Yeah, brilliant. So we'll be back to do more of a review. We've still got to look at it at night, and we'll be back to do something including the front day scope add-on capability, and I will pop this on a Picatinny rail, and I will be doing some day and night comparisons with the DS3550, because that's the sort of wider angle lower mag of the two DS35s. What you having a look at there, Bruce?
Taking the eyepiece off, because according to the specification, the display on the Cheetah is larger and has more pixels than the display on the Alpex or on the Thunder or on pretty much any of their other night vision or thermal devices. Across the board with HIK, they've been using a 10mm OLED display, which is 1024 by 768 pixels.
Yeah.
The Cheetah is using a 1/2 inch or a 12.5mm OLED display with 1920 by 1080 pixels. And the reason they're doing that, because when you use it in front add-on mode, because your scope is actually looking at the display, then you're going to get a better picture with it in add-on mode than you would if you'd used the old 1024 by 768 display.
So we will have that comparison to do.
What we found out with the Thunder was that when the normal eyepiece, scope type eyepiece is on, when you look through the eyepiece, you're seeing all of the display.
Yeah.
But when you go into front add-on mode, the eyepiece adapter that screws in there has to locate into these slots here. And that's
the keyways,
the keyways. And the eyepiece adapter's actually got a magnet in it. And when that magnet goes into that slot, it basically tells the scope, oh, we're now in front add-on mode. And one of the things it does is to reduce the resolution of the display. What I'm going to try to do is fake
putting the add-on adapter on.
Yep, does exactly the same thing.
Okay, so I'm looking over Bruce's shoulder. Go on, go for it. Ah, yes. So if you remove that again now. Yes. What looks on the screen of the phone like a pale area is the screen, and not only does that reduce when the magnet is present, but then a little message pops up, and then the message disappears. And then the screen widens and the message pops up again.
When you go into front add-on mode, basically the scope is now, rather than looking at the whole display, the scope is only looking at that much display. So it's looking at fewer pixels than it would do, which is why they've increased the number of pixels in here. So when you go into front add-on mode, you're looking at more pixels than you would. I think when we looked at the Thunder, and we did the same thing, the Thunder's 1024 by 768 display, we reckoned that when you put it into front add-on mode and it did this thing, we were down to about 640 by 480.
Yeah.
So you're going to have more pixels to look at. So it should be a better image in front add-on mode than it would have been with the old type display that they were using. So, but we'll test that.
We'll be testing that, yeah.
But just a little interesting aside as to one of the things that
that's a teaser for when we get to the front add-on mode part of the review. But anyway, thanks very much, Bruce. We've got lots more coming up soon, and what I'll do very shortly is I'll probably put the Cheetah beside my DS3550 on the mini Brucey bonus plate and go to the farm overlooking the distant wind turbines and just see how it goes from a distant view, focus-wise, down to sort of 5 meters, and see how we go. So thanks very much for watching, and thanks especially to HIKMICRO and the team there for kindly loaning us the Cheetah C32F RL for independent review. Lots more coming soon, so thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share this with your friends so they don't miss out on their night vision discoveries. We'll see you back here soon. Cheers. Thanks, Bruce.
Thank you, Russ. Bye, everybody.